Hey Aquarius, Ali from Indigo Ascension. Welcome to your weekly quick reads for the week beginning November the 30th to December the 6th. Now, last week I touched on that Gemini full moon lunar eclipse, and I wanted to do so again this week because eclipse energy is quite big and it spans for a few weeks. So this week's readings for all of the zodiacs are going to be focused on the unique house placement this eclipse hits for you guys. So for you Aquarius, this full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini falls in your 5th house. The 5th house rules all things love, romance, joy, children, okay? And even if that means our work too, all right? This is the energy that is about fun and adventure and it's expansion and expanding these areas, all right? And how those experiences ultimately expand us and how it feels when we are at that point in the timeline where something just begins, whether it's a creative project, a romantic connection, okay? Maybe you're thinking about these things, maybe you're experiencing these things during this full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini, okay? But certainly there is encouragement for many to see how that applies, not just to this next couple of weeks, okay? But perhaps your whole retrograde story this year. Maybe there's been a bigger lesson, bigger wisdom integration, if you like. And certainly this is the first time in 20 years that we've had an eclipse in Gemini. Rewind the clock. Maybe there were similar themes for you at that time too. Okay, I'm going to take a look at 3 tarot cards, and I'm also going to pull a crystal card to see how that all ties up into your reading. Full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini releases the final chords, if you like. So solar eclipses are all about the forward vision, the aha moment, the inspiration, the path ahead. It's about that future focus, okay? Lunar eclipses help us come into awareness about something that was hidden. So naturally there's this energy of unpacking that's been happening with Neptune as well, going direct. There's this energy of unveiling things that were hidden. So this is the stuff that we repress. It's working with the subconscious. So how does that work in the realms of the 5th house energy? Any challenges that you've had, what needs to be eclipsed and let go if you've experienced the shadow element of all of that stuff I mentioned in the realms of 5th house energy, okay? Underneath the deck, this person's alone, all right? We're working with a full moon lunar eclipse. We are eclipsing all those times we allowed our mind to get the better of us to the point that it was affecting our physical reality, not just our physical self. Certainly the 9 of Swords, okay, feels alone in their thoughts, their overthinking, where they've become a prisoner of their mind. And I'm certainly not romanced by life in this state. I'm certainly not feeling the love or feeling my childlike essence, yeah? The 5th house, the Gemini full moon eclipse in your 5th house, Aquarius, encourages you strongly to eclipse anything that's sort of, whether it's to do with patterning, whether it's to do with isolating yourself, whether it's to the relationship you have with your mind and how your thoughts play a very key factor in creating and manifesting your reality and your experiences, your emotional experiences, and of any of those 5th house areas, okay? How has love been a burden? How long has it been since you've been able to engage in this energy of romance and feeling romanced by life or another, romancing yourself? How long has it been since you've experienced and engaged that childlike wonder towards life? Okay? All of us as adults, we're very familiar with that eat, sleep, repeat routine, yeah? A lot of magic happens in that childlike consciousness that is a superconductor for creativity and imagination. And it can take quite a hell of a lot of work to get there, especially when we've been living like this. There's something here, there's some sort of a victory here. Once you choose to eclipse an old way of thinking, you know in yourself where you vibrate down, okay? The 8 of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, the 5 of Coins. You guys are transiting 5th house with this eclipse. There seems like some sort of a commitment here that perhaps has been a little bit slow moving, or you're quite comfortable for it to be slow moving. Lots of communication, lots of talking, lots of energy moving backwards and forwards, okay? working with a full moon lunar eclipse in your 5th house of love, passion, romance, fun, connecting. So ideally when this house activates, we would be romanced by life. We would be experiencing an infusion of love again in an existing relationship. We might be on the dating scene and experiencing the sparks of falling in love with a new commitment. Might be an earth sign, okay, take it however it resonates. Something might be on the horizon where there are talks about commitment, so that could certainly apply to taking a relationship to the next level. But with the 9 of Swords underneath the deck like this, and the fact that this eclipse is about eclipsing the things that get in the way of us experiencing that 5th house energy in its higher dimensions, Aqua, what is it that needs to be eclipsed? Is it this 9 of Swords energy, how we allow ourselves to feel alone and allow our mind to ultimately become our enemy, okay? Rather than our driving force, that we are driven by our shadow and our light, okay? This is not going to work out. This is going to go this way. That's what that must mean, okay? Overthinking and I'm creating my reality. I am powerfully manifesting that. I talked about it in the last week's quick reads. Just because I have a dream up here doesn't mean it will exist in that same form by the time I bring it down to earth. By the time I manifest that thought, that belief, that vision, that dream, and bring it down here, you know what? It's got to be filtered through. It's got to be filtered through my beliefs. It's got to be filtered through my thoughts, my emotions, my umming and ahhing, my self-esteem issues, my second-guessing myself. The output is not always going to be the same. We talked about that last week. Go check your last week's reading if you haven't seen it already. Okay? There's something here about financial loss, and certainly I'm even going to say this, it's more so a lack, what do you call it? A lack mentality. Okay, a fear of loss energy. That is what I was going to suggest about being mindful for this week, because there's a lot of communications, there's a commitment here. Okay, this looks like the promise of something amazing, but then this 5 of coins shows up, and if I'm working with eclipse energy in my 5th house, because I'm embracing 5th house energy here, Aqua, but if I'm eclipsing stuff that gets in the way of me enjoying that to its ultimate vibration, then perhaps it is my memories of the past. None of us ever start anything thinking it's going to end. It's the way in which movies keep playing in my mind about the last time I lost, I grieved, I was abandoned, I was left behind. Okay, the 5 of coins encourages us to embrace this change energy, which is what number 5 represents numerologically. And we're certainly, you guys are going to be feeling this energy powerfully into 2021. 2021 is a 5 vibrational year, all right? It is about expansion. It is about the bravery of the vistas we can't see, but we sense and intuitively know are out there. The future versions of self, possibility, despite what life has shown us today, okay? That's the encouragement for the next couple of weeks. Work with this eclipse energy to eclipse this lack mentality, the way in which you need to bring an end to the power of your mind is powerful. You know that it can create, okay? You know that it can create. You have everything you need, Aqua. You have the Magician card, the Chariot card, all right? Even this 8 of Wands energy is powerful. So be mindful of the energy you are connecting and vibrating to, because your thoughts will create things, in the words of Mike Dooley. Like there's a sure thing here, but just be mindful of this lack mentality, this fear of loss mentality, and certainly on very practical levels, okay? Finances might be holding me back on some level. I could be jolly and romancing myself through life and having a great time. Like, whoops, check that bank balance, Aqua. Alrighty, well, this feels good. This looks good. Let's pull a crystal card to see if it wraps everything up for us. Hematite. Protect your energy, and sometimes we have to protect our energy from ourselves. Okay, it's the warrior stone. It is as in the warrior with a shield. Confidence and protection, okay? And also in creativity, like originality. So fifth house is also about creativity and putting yourself out there to shine, to love again, to open your heart, to romance yourself through life again. All right, Aqua? This mirror-like stone will be helpful in the fact, in the sense that it will protect you from what needs to be eclipsed, okay? As you allow yourself to eclipse the ways in which that hasn't worked for you. This is about embracing fifth house energy to its highest vibration. This mirror-like stone was used by warriors for protection. It assists us in fighting our demons, Aqua. Whether internal or external, it brings greater inner strength and confidence to overcome feelings of unworthiness that manifest in drug, alcohol, or other forms of self-abuse. It also helps deflect the influential emotions of others and dissolve codependent relationships. So, romancing ourselves through life, how am I repeating patterns, or what have I cleared? What have I got to eclipse still? Drawing this card indicates it is time to draw on your inner will to move forward, Aqua. Take responsibility for your existence and work towards a state of grace, a state of manifestation, Grace. All right. Goodness, the ads. I think I've listened to 9 hours worth of meditation music today then. Hope you got something out of that, my lovely Aqua. Head on above to the bio link if you would like to book a personal reading with me online. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can find that same link in the description box below. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, please do like, share, and subscribe. Take care, Aqua. Until next time.